from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
A very good evening and welcome to the National News Broadcast. I'm Malsha Dharmavardhana.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Charita Minipurarachi and let's move on to the headlines for tonight's news.
India's Chandrayaan-3 becomes the first space mission to land near the south pole of the moon. 2,684 million rupees have been allocated to pay allowances for kidney patients, disabled and adults. Use of 9 items of plastic banned. Dengue cases have decreased.
On to those and other stories in detail now, when starting off with the top story. India today, under its Chandrayaan Mission 3, successfully landed its Vikram lander and Pragyan rover on the moon's surface. With this mission, India has become the first country that landed a spacecraft at the North Pole area of the moon. India has now become the 4th country that landed a spacecraft on a discovery mission after the USA, former Soviet Union and China. The Indian media reports out that this is a key victory on India's endeavour to become a leading country of space giant. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is now in Johannesburg in South Africa participating in BRICS summit, waved this moment online. Indian media has published a video in that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is waving the Indian national flag at the time of landing the Chandrayaan-3. Prime Minister Modi expressed his thanks and respect to all those who dedicated for the success of Chandrayaan-3 mission.
Associate Project Director
and ISRO, Shri S. Somnath.
लैंडर मॉड्यूल पूरी तरह से सेफली और सॉफ्टली चंद्रमा के सतह पे लैंड हो चुका है। ये हम लोगों के लिए बहुत ही गर्व की बात है। हिंदी में एक कहावत है कि चंदा मामा दूर के, लेकिन अब हम ये कह सकते हैं कि चंदा।
Our approach of one earth, one family, one future is resonating across the globe. This human-centric approach that we present and that we represent has been welcomed universally. Our moon mission is also based on the same human-centric approach. Therefore, this success belongs to all of humanity, and it will help moon missions by other countries in the future. I am confident that all countries in the world, including those from the global south, are capable of achieving such feats. We can all aspire for the moon and beyond.
Moon's atmosphere.
This Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft was successfully taken off on the 14th of July at the Space Center located in South Andhra Pradesh. The Discovery vehicles titled Vikram landed and Pragyan rover was safely landed on the southern hemisphere of the moon at about 6 p.m. in Sri Lankan time today. The aim of this mission is to discover whether there are water sources on the southern hemisphere of the moon and there is a conducive environment for human inhabitation. This mission will last for about 14 days on the moon and gather many information on the structure of the chemical substances in the moon soil.
There is a possibility of finding ice and other minerals which would be vital resources for.
And meanwhile, State Minister Shehan Semasinga says that a sum of 2,684 million rupees has been allocated to all district secretaries to pay allowances for renal patients, disabled people and elderly people for the month of July. The State Minister says that these allowances can be obtained from next Friday. The allowance for elderly persons will be paid from the post offices, while the allowances for disabled people and kidney patients can be drawn from the divisional secretaries. State Minister Shahan Singh said that the Treasury has allocated 2,684 million rupees to all district secretariats at present. Over 647,000 kidney patients, low-income adults and disabled people will be paid with the relevant allowance. They can get these allowances from Friday.
Two new ambassadors and a high commissioner appointed to Sri Lanka handed over their credentials to President this morning at the President's office. Two ambassadors have been appointed for the Republic of Italy and Germany Federal Republic. The new High Commissioner is for UK and Northern Ireland. They have been welcomed by the Chief of President's Staff, Sagala Ratnayaka. Accordingly, Damiano Frankovic is the new ambassador for the Republic of Italy. Andrew Patrick handed over his credentials as the High Commissioner to United Kingdom and Northern Ireland. Dr. Felix Neumann is the new ambassador for Federal Republic of Germany. After handing over credentials, they held a mutual discussion with President Ranil Wickremesinghe, State Minister Tharaka Balasurya, President Secretary Saman Ekanayake and Secretary to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Aruni Vijayawardena were present at this occasion.
And meanwhile, President Ranil Wickremesinghe points out the importance of appointing a National Advisory Committee to direct Sri Lanka's strategic program to face climatic changes. The President says state and private sector institutions should be connected to this committee. The President proposes that the committee should meet at least once in 6 months and review its progress. The President made these remarks at a discussion held today at the President's office to review the progress of Sri Lanka's initiation on facing the climatic changes. Many veterans and experts of the field of climatic changes were present at this discussion. They focused special attention implementing the strategic plan to face future climatic changes as a country.
You can't do anything without financing. So really we have to be very strong locally and internationally both on what to do, and let's make that one of our strengths. Everyone will have a lot of things to do on how to bring climate change around, but very few people are going to come up with where the money is going to be made available. So let Sri Lanka specialize international economics on this whole global climate financing, the struggle that's going on, which is related to debt financing, since we are already in it. Debt and this both will have to come together. I think that's one the area that we have to work on. So if you have the laws, we have this. Then other one is the UN Secretary General is pressing for accelerated agenda. That will also have to come under this. How are we going to work? Partly with the international, partly with financing, partly with what we are going to do. Then you have your nature positive green growth schemes. With that, we should have a large awareness campaign, which we should start now itself, going into schools and all other areas, environment, climate change, all we put together and go in there immediately. On the climate change university, let's go make it the international platform for climate change research. So we not only what we do, but everyone gets linked there. So this has to be the center for that. That's the way it has to be done. And then let's get the final report on the international climate change university done. Then you have the innovative management. But let's focus this in the next 2 weeks, give one on the structure of the center plus its activities, which can be circulated around the relevant ministries and agencies. And finally, there will be a national consultative committee that every agency involved in it, public or private, will be in this committee. So it may have about 100 or 150 members, but that should be the one that will be consulted at least once in 6 months as to the progress that's being made.
A decision has been taken to ban the use of 9 plastic items in the country. This decision will be effective from the 1st of October. Accordingly, the use of plastic straws, plates, cups, fork and spoons, knives, garlands and string hopper blocks will be banned. After the 1st of October, manufacture, export for use, sale, display and free distribution of these items will be prohibited. The Central Environmental Authority says persons who violate these rules will be produced before the law. And meanwhile, several orders under the Import and Export Control Act, Sri Lanka Export Development Act, the Colombo Port City Economic Commission Act and the Strategic Development Project Act were taken up for debate in the Parliament today, and several parliamentarians expressed views over these orders. State Minister Dr. Ranjit Siambalapitiya said that a kilo of packeted wheat flour is about 210 rupees at the market. Loose wheat flour is sold at 200 rupees per kilo. As the prices are low at the world market, prices in the country should further decrease. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that members of the entire international finance community are the persons who have invested on the sovereign bonds. The Sri Lankan government is accountable to pay their money back, or else they will take legal action against the government. There is a case going on in the USA at present. The government has informed the US courts that there is a debt restructuring program going on in Sri Lanka at present. However, the US court has decided to continue the case. Some people think that with a political change, Sri Lanka can avoid paying back these loans. They are unaware of the international monetary system and international monetary bodies. If the international institutions do not accept our letter of credits, we cannot purchase fuel, gas, medicine or any other important commodities. If any political party says that they are against the IMF and the World Bank and do not pay loans, Sri Lanka will be in a big trouble at the hand of international community.
තියනේවට පටහැනිව අපි ගෙවන්නේ අපිට පුළුවන් දෙයක් කරන්න මොනව කරන්න මේ තියෙන තත්ත්වයේ තේරුම් ගන්න නැති දේශපාලනඥයෝ හරි දේශපාලන නායකයෝ හරි පක්ෂ හරි තියෙනවා නම් ඒ කාටවත් ලංකාව ආණ්ඩු කරන්න බෑ.
The Water Resources Board informed the public to use groundwater carefully during this dry season. The board informed the public to get their water obtained from wells and fountains checked from the laboratories of the board if there is any change in the water. Deputy General Manager of the Water Resources Board, R.M.S. Ratnayaka, says that the water table has gone down due to the prevailing drought and the salinity of the water has changed. Due to this matter, taste, smell and the color of water can be experienced. The water samples can be checked from the laboratories located at Colombo, Puttlam, Anuradhapura and Jaffna. The people in Hambantota district also face a several shortage of drinking water as the water sources have dried up due to the prevailing drought. Governor of the southern province, Willie Gamage, says as a solution for this problem, a program will be implemented to distribute water through the relevant local government bodies in the district. The governor said measures will be taken to grant required funds. People in Tangol, Beliatta, Katuana, Angulukola Palassa, Ambalantota, Suryawewa, Hambantota and Tissa Maharama areas who are suffering from a water crisis will have benefit under this program. Water level of the Castlereagh and Mausakala reservoirs have further decreased due to the prevailing dry weather in the western slopes of the central hills. Water level of the Castlereagh reservoir was under 42 feet from the spill level this morning, while the Mausakala reservoir has gone up to 39 feet from the spill level.
And meanwhile, the third Kumbal Perahera of the Kandy Asala festival is now parading the streets. The third Kumbal Perahera started parading the streets in Kandy at present. The Perahera started at the auspicious time of 7:02 p.m. with the Tusker Indi Raja carrying the sacred casket. Tuskers Mian Raja and Kandula of Kalaniya Raja Mahavihare escort the either side of the casket carrying Tusker. A large crowd gathered to Kandy City at present to wave the Perahara. The Perahara organizers expect more crowds in the coming days to the Perahara. The national television will be there in the coming days to bring the marvelous of the Perahara to our viewers.
Now, the draft report over the conceptual policy framework for food security was presented to the National Council yesterday for approval. The National Council met yesterday under the patronage of the Speaker Mahinda Yapa and Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena. Member of the subcommittee of the National Council, parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksha, has appointed a working committee to prepare a conceptual policy framework for food security. Under the food security, sectors of agriculture, animal husbandry and fisheries activities are considered. This working committee has been appointed to identify short-term, medium-term and long-term priorities in preparing national policies. The working committee headed by parliamentarians Asanga Navaratna submitted their report for the approval of the National Council. At this occasion, Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that this working committee had met for a period of 10 months to prepare this policy framework. The committee has obtained views and proposals of several ministries, including Fisheries, Environment, Plantation, Education and Lands. The University Grants Commission, Attorney General's Department and several other bodies have also given their opinion to prepare this conceptual policy framework. A number of ministries and parliamentarians were present at this meeting.
And meanwhile, Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena instructed the relevant authorities to find immediate solutions for the problems faced by professional passenger transport three-wheeler drivers. The minister gave these instructions at a special discussion held today with the officials and members of several three-wheeler associations. The discussion was held to look into several issues, including the regulation of passenger transport three-wheelers. Representatives of three-wheeler associations focused some common problems faced by their members to the attention of the minister. Accordingly, they held talks on streamlining the regulatory program implemented in the Western Province and preparing a joint program to regulate three-wheelers island-wide. Several other matters, including the charges of fixed spare parts, were also discussed. At this meeting, the minister said that National Transport Commission has the ultimate authority on regulating all passenger transport vehicles, including three-wheelers. An amended bill in this regard has already submitted to the Attorney General's Department. The minister also instructed the officials to have discussions with the Commissioner of the National Transport Commission with regard to the demands of the three-wheeler associations and to provide solutions without delay. The members of these three-wheeler associations expressed their gratitude to the minister for his kind attention to their problems.
The National Dengue Control Unit says that there is a decrease of daily cases of dengue patients at district level. Director of the unit, consultant Dr. Nalin Aryaratna, attributes this development to the fully awareness of the people over the disease. Director of the National Dengue Control Unit, consultant Dr. Nalin Aryaratna, said that 6,733 cases have been reported so far. The daily average of cases have decreased to 150 to 175 at present. He said that this is a positive trend and thanked the national television for its contribution towards this national move. Another dengue control program was held today, joined by Dehiwala Municipal Council and Ratmalana MOH office.
Moving on to more local stories, the State Minister for Primary Industries, Chamana Sampath Dasnaika, announced that his exports of gem and jewelry have generated an income of $315 million from January of this year until now. He further highlighted that this gems and jewelry sector has demonstrated an impressive export growth rate of 34%, a fact corroborated by reports from the central bank. He made these comments speaking at the news briefing held held at the Presidential Media Center today, themed Collective Path to a Stable Country. State Minister Chamara Sampath Dasanayake said that the National Gem and Jewellery Authority stands as a pivotal contributor to our nation's foreign exchange reserves. We have undertaken numerous strategic decisions concerning the operations of this authority. In the previous year, we achieved a significant income of USD 230 billion through gem exports. Notably, in the year 2023, our gem and jewellery exports have yielded a substantial revenue of $315 million. Historically, concerns arose regarding the remittance of foreign exchange earned through gem exports. To address these issues, a novel custom clearance system was devised under the aegis of the new government. Presently, each exported gem is meticulously assessed to ensure the inflow of foreign exchange. In the past, our gems were auctioned abroad, but our country did not receive the appropriate remuneration. The State Minister said that the central bank reports confirmed a remarkable 34% growth in export revenue for the Gem and Jewellery Authority. He also said that the steps have also been taken to resolve exporters' challenges with open lines of communication for exporters accessible at all times. Welcome back with international news and news from Pakistan. After a 14-hour ordeal, all 8 people, including 6 children and 2 adults, were stranded on a cable car dangling hundreds of feet over a valley in northwest Pakistan have been rescued. The country's caretaker Prime Minister Anwar-ul-Haq Kakur said in a statement. The rescue began a mission to rescue people trapped inside the cable car from morning hours. After 6 children and 2 teachers were travelling to school in the province of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa when one of the gondola cable snapped, leaving them stuck some 900 feet above a valley, officials said. The rescue included helicopters and the use of zip lines, officials say, but at night Pakistan authorities were forced to pause helicopter rescues of the remaining children and adults. The cable car was travelling between the villages of Tangi and Jengare and had made multiple trips yesterday before the cable snapped. Many children who lived in remote and mountainous parts of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province rely on cable cars to ferry them to school and back. Some of these lack regular maintenance and can be a risk of travel.
Welcome back. Taking a look at your sports news. A special discussion between the Ministry of Sports and officials of the Sri Lanka cricket was held today at the Ministry of Sports. The discussion that was started at 10 a.m. today lasted over 3 hours. After the discussion, Secretary of the Sri Lankan Cricket, Mohan De Silva, held a mutual discussion with the minister. Sri Lankan cricketer Prabhat Jayasuriya was awarded as the Cricketer Award in the ceremony held in Mumbai in India. Indian cricketer Subram Gill was awarded as the Best Batsman of the Year. He was also awarded as the Best International Cricketer of the Year. With that, we conclude tonight's news on Rupavahini. Do join us tomorrow at the very same time.